Hey everybody, Chris Truder here, leading communications expert in Japan. Thank you for tuning in. Today is Tuesday, July 16th, episode 4. Here in Japan, the last 3 days was a 3-day weekend. Yesterday was Umi no Hi, which I think is called Beach Day in English. Anyway, it wasn't a very lovely day to go to the beach. It was basically raining all weekend. But anyway, I hope you all had a great 3-day weekend, relaxing weekend. So here we are back on schedule, 8:30 in the morning, Facebook Live. And today I want to talk about negotiation techniques. So again, I'm reaching out to English teachers in Japan, but these techniques can be used by anyone in business. So today, I want to talk about a basic technique called mirroring, and it comes from the book. I wish I could show it to you, but it comes from the book called Never Split the Difference, Negotiating as If Your Life Depended on It. And it was written by Chris Voss, and I'll put a link to the book in the comment section after this session. But Chris Voss was a FBI hostage terrorist negotiator who was very successful, and then after retiring became a teacher at Harvard Business School and basically used his techniques from the FBI and applied them to business, and they're very effective. And today I want to start with the technique mirroring, but before I explain what that is, I want to explain the meaning of his title of the book, Never Split the Difference. So basically in negotiations, it's very common to meet in the middle. So for example, if I'm out bartering for something and I say, okay, I'll pay you $100, and the merchant says $50, then you say 90, 60, 80, 70, 75, and you meet in the middle. So you split the difference. But the problem with negotiating hostages, where the demand is give me $1 million or I will kill your loved one, you really can't split the difference when you're talking about a person's life. So again, you need to use techniques to get what you want in the negotiation. So we'll start with this technique called mirroring. And mirroring is really simple. It's basically repeating back what the person you're negotiating with has just said to you. So, for example, I was doing a sales presentation to a Japanese company recently, and after the presentation I said, so what do you think? And this was a marketing director, and I was selling an English program. And he said, well, we don't have any budget. So I used this mirroring technique and I repeated it back. So you don't have any budget? And then I waited. So after you mirror, then the next step is to be silent. Don't ask another follow-up question. So again, he said, I don't have any budget. And I mirrored back. So you don't have any budget? And waited. And sure enough, he responded back, well, actually, we do have budget, but I need to get approval for this. So it's very interesting, just that simple mirroring technique caused the other person to reveal what they were actually thinking. Because a lot of times people in negotiations don't, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally, don't really share what they're thinking. So it's the job of the negotiator to try to figure out what they're actually thinking and then using that in the negotiation. So that is one example. Plus, if you are trying to start your own business, if you're trying as an English teacher, trying to go independent, branching out from the English conversation schools, you will run into this a lot. This is a very common objection to a potential client, is we don't have budget. And that's usually not the real reason. So by mirroring, oh, so you don't have any budget, is one technique to try to figure out or identify what the real reason is for the objection. So let me share another example. Recently I had a book. I'm making a textbook, and I had a freelancer format the book so that I could publish it on Amazon. And it was only $20, not very expensive. But at the end of the project, the person said, could you please compensate me an extra $20 because it took longer than expected. Now this was by email. And so I said, okay, let me try the mirroring technique through email. And I just responded, so you'd like me to compensate you an extra $20 because it took longer than expected. And then I waited. Same like if it was face-to-face, after mirroring you have to be silent. You don't want to follow up with another question. You need to give the person a chance to respond. And I waited about 24 hours and I got an email response, and sure enough, it said, well, if you can't pay the extra $20, I understand. So there, I was able to negotiate not to pay extra $20 just through this technique called mirroring. It's very powerful technique. So I challenge you to try it. You can try it with your family. If you have kids, this works great with your kids, because if your kids ask, hey, I want to go to the store, or take me to Disneyland, for example, or buy me some candy. Try this technique. So you want me to buy you some candy? You want me to take you to Disneyland? So you mirror, and then the person you're mirroring to may change their mind. So this happens, you can do this in business as well. So let's say, you're an English teacher, you are working for an English school, and your boss comes to you and says, hey, Chris, I need you to work overtime tomorrow. And so try the mirroring technique. You say, so you would like me to work overtime tomorrow? And then be silent. Don't give an excuse. Don't say, I can't. Just mirror back. And chances are your boss may say, well, they either may change their mind and say, don't worry about it, or they'll have a follow-up question. Well, are you too busy to work tomorrow? And then you can say, yeah, it's really difficult. And then you've negotiated your way out of something. So again, whenever you're asked something, or when you're negotiating and you have an objection, try this mirroring technique. Basically, it's just repeat back what was just said, the request or the excuse, and then be silent and see what happens. So I'll share some more examples in the comment sections. And again, this comes from the book Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Never Split the Difference, Negotiating as if your life depended upon it, by Chris Voss. So check this book out. Again, I'll put it in the comments, and it's great technique for mirroring. And then tomorrow, I'll talk about another technique that's called labeling. Okay, so until next time, which is tomorrow, same time, 8:30 Japan Standard Time. Oh, hey, Cameron, my nephew is on, and thank you for checking in. So anyway, thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.